Today, I want to show you how to make this really fun triangular pendant that serves as a encasement for a 14mm Rivoli. Today for the project, you're going to need a 14mm Rivoli. This is going to be the center for my project today. I'm going to use Chrysolite. You're going to need 2 colors of a size 11 seed bead. Your color A is going to be your center color. Color B is going to be where I have the pink. So for my A today, I'm going to be using the matte Iris Peridot. And then for my B, I'm going to be using the Galvanized Green. You'll need 3 4mm beads. Now these can either be round beads or bicone beads. And then you need 1 6mm bead, and this can either be a round or a bicone bead. So for my project, I'm going to use this light amethyst. So that's all the materials that you'll need. Basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be forming the front of our circle. Then we're going to make a second the first part of our triangle, not a circle. Then we're going to be forming a second layer of our triangle that will serve as the encasement for the piece. So with that being said, we'll get started. I've got my needle threaded to about 1.5 yards to 2 yards of fire line. And the first thing I've done is I've taken and threaded on 27 beads onto my string. Now these are my color A. I've got 27 and I've just tied it into a knot here at the top. And I'm going to take and I'm going to go through 1 bead right next to my knot. It doesn't matter which direction you start in, but once you start that direction, you have to continue going in that way. So first thing I'm going to do is pick up 2B. I'm not going to skip anything, and I'm going to go through the very next A in my circle. And I'm going to peyote 4 B's. So what that means is I'm coming out of an A, I'm going to skip an A, and I'm going to go through an A. Pick up a B, skip an A, go through an A. Pick up 1 B, skip an A, go through an A. And as you can see, I keep my finger on the bead that I'm going through, and I pull this nice and tight because you want a very good, nice, tight tension with this project. Pick up 1 B, skip 1, and go through 1. So this is what I've got so far. I'm going to pick up 2B, and I'm going to not skip anything, but I'm going to go right through the very next A in my circle. So that gives me my next little point. Then I'm going to peyote 4 B's. So I'm going to pick up 1 B, skip 1, go through 1. Pick up 1 B, skip 1, go through 1. Whoops. Pick up 1 B, skip 1, go through 1. And I've got to do that one more time. Pick up a B, skip 1, and go through 1. Pick up 2B. I'm not going to skip anything. I'm just going to go through the very next A in my circle here. And now I have to peyote 4 more B's. Once I pick up the last bee, I'm ready to do what they call the step up. So I skip one and I go through one. So that'll be my bead right here. That's the last bead on the row. Then you need to do what we call a step up. And the step up is you're simply going to go through the first bead that you added on your current row. So what that means is I'm going to go through 2 beads at one time. So I'm going to go through the last A in my original set of 27, and then I'm going to go up through the very first B that I added in the row. So that when I pull, now I have a cool little triangle shape. If your tail is getting on your nerves, you can cut that tail off, completely up to you. So every other row, you're going to flip-flop the colors that you use. So my first circle was 27 A's. My next set of beads was B beads. So my next set is going to be A. So I'm going to pick up 2A, and I'm going to go right down through the very next B bead, so that the 2 A's sit on top of the 2 B's. Pick up 1 A, and I'm going to go through the first B sticking up. 1 A, go through the first B. 1 A, go through. 1 A, go through. And 1 A, and go through. I'm to a set of 2 B's that are side by side. So I'm going to pick up 2 A's, and I'm going to come right down through the very next A. Okay, start over. I'm coming out of 2 B's, a set of 2, so I'm going to pick up 2 A's and go down through the very next B in my circle, or my triangle. So those will sit side by side. Pick up 1 A, go through the first B sticking up. 1 A. So you're basically working peyote stitch on the sides, and then when you get to those corners, you're doing herringbone stitch to form your cool triangle shape. Okay, so I'm back to a set of 2. So I'm going to pick up 2 A's, and I'm going to come right down through the very next bead. Pick up an A, go through the first B sticking up, and I'm just going to work my peyote up the sides here. Okay, I'm fixing to add this 4th A, and I have to do the step up. So for the last B in the circle, or in my triangle, I'll be going through this bead right here. So I have to step up by going through the first A. So I'm going to go through the B, and then I'm going to step up by going through the A right above it. So my first row was A, second row was B, third row was A, so now I'll go back to my B's. So I'm to a set of 2, so I'm going to pick up 2, and I'm going to go right down through the very next bead here. Pick up a B, go through the next A sticking up. Okay, once I come through this bead right here, I'm to a set of 2 beads. So I've got to pick up 2 B's and go through the very next bead here. Pick up a B, go through the A, pick up a B, go through the A, and once I come through this corner bead here, I've got 2 beads that are side by side, so that tells me when to pick up 2 beads. So I'm going to pick up 2 B's, and I'm going to go through the very next bead right where my thread is coming out. So it makes that nice little point. Pick up a B, go through the A, B, go through the A, B, 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 and I'm ready to add my last B for the row. As you can see, normally my last bead for the row is going to be this bead right here, but I need to do my step up, so I have to go up through the bead right above it. So I'm going to go through this A and then the B. You're always stepping up in a corner, and you'll always be going through 2 beads in that corner. So first row was A, second row was B, third row is A, fourth row is B. So this next row will be A's. So do your whole row of A's. I have finished my row with my A's. So you want to do your next row with your color B. Work all the way around with color B. I've completed my row of B's. Now I'm ready for A's. This will be the last row of A's that you add for this section. Here's the completed row of A's. Now we're going to work on our very last row for this section. This is going to be B's. So normally here in the corner, we pick up 2 beads, but what we're going to do this time is just pick up 1. So 1 B, and I'm going to go right through the very next bead there in my circle, or in my triangle, so it gives me a point. Now I'm going to just peyote stitch to the other side. So I'm going to pick up a B, go through the next A, and I'm just going to pick up 1 B, going through the next A, all the way down this side. And if your piece feels a little bit flimsy to you, it shouldn't be super flimsy, but like when you do this, it shouldn't flop around really bad. So if that's the case and yours kind of flops, you may want to go back through and reinforce your rows and pull your tension really good and tight. But I mean, it's not going to be rock solid either. So I'm to my next corner. So I'm going to pick up 1 B instead of 2. And I'm going to go right down through the very next bead here so that it forms a point. So these 2 points right here, this will actually be the top of my triangle when I get it completed. Let's pick up a bead, go through the A, and I'm going to work down through peyote with the B's. On my third corner, you would think that we're going to pick up 1 bead just like we have been, but that's not the case. We're not going to pick up anything. We're going to go right through the very next bead. So nothing on the corner, no beads. And we're going to peyote right up through the project on this side. All right, so I'm going to come up through the last A. Well, that is after I undo my hot mess here. There we go. Okay, so completed front of the triangle. But we need to add our loop for the top, and we need to add our bottom part. If you look, and I'll show you on this one because it's a little easier to see, I'm not counting my little point beads here. I'm counting these beads that are sticking up. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to be coming out of the 4th bee sticking up along the top. So we need to stitch to get there. So I'm going to go through A and B, A and B, A and B. Okay, so far this is 1, 2, 3, so I need to be coming out of that bead right there. So I'm going to go through A and B. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to pull my bicones over here. And now you can use any color that you want. I used the A's on both of my little bells just because that was the main color here. But if you want to continue with the B's, you can. But I'm going to continue with what I've got going. So I'm going to pick up an A, a bicone, an A, a bicone, and 8 A's. Actually, since I've got 2 more beads left right here, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up my 10. Now, I'm going to skip all of these seed beads that I just added, and I'm going to go right back down through my bicone and pull. Pick up 1 A, 1 bicone, and 1 A. So I'm coming out of the 4th bead here. So basically I'm going to skip 2 B's that are sticking up and go through the next B, which would be my 4th one from that side. And once you pull it, that gives you your bell. I'm going to reinforce this, and then I want to stitch down through my beads to be coming out of one of these 2 beads right here at the bottom. So I have the top reinforced, and I've stitched down to exit one of the A's here in this bottom corner. I'm going to pick up 2 A's, my 6mm, and 1 A. I'm going to let these drop all the way down, and I'm going to skip this A, and I'm going to go back up through the crystal and the A right above it and pull. Pick up 1 A, and I'm going to go through the A right next to where I started, which will be this one right here. So that makes my point for the triangle. And I'm going to stitch through, tying this thread off with a couple of half-hitch knots, and then we're going to make a second triangle. So I started a completely new triangle shape, exactly like I did the original triangle. My first row of 27 was A's. My second row was B's. My third row was A's. And now this 4th row are B's. Now that's as far as you're going to go on this triangle piece here. So I've come all the way around, and I stepped up through my last bead, and to get into position to start attaching it to my big triangle, I'm going to come right through the very next B here along the top edge in the corner. All right, now if this was ever what I called a hard part, this is the hard part to me. If you look, you have, and I'm going to try and show it to you on this one so that you can see it. My bees are here. These are the bees that are on this second triangle, which would be these here. These bees that we have on our second triangle are going to connect to the second A all the way across. So in other words, here is my first row of A's. This is my second row of A's all the way across. So all these A's that my needle is touching will be A's that will be going through to connect. You're coming out of B's on the back. You'll be going through A's on the front piece. In other words, because I know this can get a little tricky, I'm going to lay the piece exactly like this so that my corners line up exactly like they should, and my thread is coming out of the B on my first. I'm going to go take my needle and I'm going to go through the very next A on the front component. So if I slide it up together here again, I was coming out of the B, now I'm going through an A on the front. And I'm going to pull that through. I'm going to come through the very next B on the back component. Go through the next A on the front component. The very next B on the back. A on the front. B on the back. A on the front. B on the back. A on the front. B on the back. A. B. A. And then I'll go through the last B on the back. So that now when I pull them like this, they're connected together. And you really can't tell where I started and where I stopped. I'm going to fold it back down. I'm coming out of a B on the back. So I'm going to go through the very next B on the back. Same thing, you got to make sure that your corners stay lined up. You're exiting the B here on the end, so you're going to come through the A on the front piece, and remember it's the second row, not the top row and not the B's. You're going through the A's. Pull that through. Then I'm going to come through the B, the very next B on the back side, through the A, B, A, B, A. And as you work, if you do not keep this thing lined up, especially in the corners, you're going to have a piece that puckers up really badly, and it's not going to look all that great. So you just want to be very adamant that you get those corners lined up, and you keep the rows lined up as to where you're putting stitching together. It's definitely important. So I went through the last A on the row. So I'm going to go through my B. And then I'm to a corner. So I've got to go down through the very next B. So at this point, I've got my two corners, or my two sides, connected. Now I need to take my Rivoli. I'm going to put it in face forward. So I'm going to see the back of it. And I'm just going to stick it inside the casing so that this is the front side and the back side. And I'm just going to finish doing the connection here on this last side. So I'm coming out of the B, and I'm going to go through the very next A on the second row on the front part, then the B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. I'm just going to keep going A, B. Almost got it. We almost have it, guys. You've almost got it complete. If there was ever a hard part to this project, you're doing it right now. So if you're getting it, then you've done fantastic. So I go through the last B there on the end, and now it is completely encased all the way around. And I'm going to tie off this thread. So all you have to do is tie off with a couple of half hitch knots. And so when you turn it around, this is what you have to the front. And as you can see, it's domed a little bit in the center now from where our Rivoli's at, but it's pretty much flat all the way around. So I hope you guys enjoyed making this triangular pendant. It's really fun. It's a little different. Gives you a way to use up a little bit of your seed bead stash. We will have the pattern and kits available on our website, which is off the beadedpathbeadstore.com, as well as on our Etsy site. So hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you again next time for a new video. Bye-bye.